Hey, y'all got any questions, VA disability claims related? Your boy gonna be answering questions for the next 30 minutes or so. Please tap into the chats. Have been live for the last few days. Hopefully they stay live. Know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean? Yeah, y'all know what I mean. But anyways, on the VA disability. So until someone started talking, asking questions, as always, I'm gonna start with an icebreaker, I guess. But yeah, icebreakers. All right, so I was talking with a buddy. He's still active duty, and he was planning on getting out in the next 2 years. Haven't really went into medical as much. Hey, what's up? What's up? Hey, as I come in, by all means, you got any questions? Let your boy know. We'll be answering questions for the next 30 minutes or so. Please don't wait until the end. I know y'all like to wait until the end, but let's go. Active duty, 2 years. Then he was asking me some VA disability questions, blah blah blah, BDD, the benefits delivery of discharge, and he had a couple of things he's been seen for, mainly for arthritis and back issues. I was like, hey, if you plan on getting out, you might want to start going to medical now because, regardless of your rank, you be PFC, motherfucker, gunny, whatever fuck case may be. But I mean, if you don't plan on staying in the military, you have an ideal time frame in which you're going to get out. Start planning to get out, especially take care of your VA disability. Start getting into medical. If there's anything that you've been treated for while being active duty, go in, make sure you have a diagnosis and just not treatment history. Complaints go a long way. Whenever you do get out, and after you put in your first claim, you might get 50 or 60%. And okay, let me go back to my record and see what else I can claim. A complaint goes a long way, but diagnosis goes even further. So definitely have a diagnosis for anything you plan on submitting, and anything significant, do a personal statement. I always say that. Anything 30% or more, make sure you have a personal statement, buddy statements. But just going past that, he started going in, went in, got treated for migraines. He was doing the Botox injections and shit as well. A lot of good substantial medical evidence. He's definitely 30 to 50% once he does get out for migraines. As far as shoulder arthritis, yeah, shoulder arthritis, both shoulders. Severely, severe arthritis. I don't know how that happens. Huh. He's a young boy. He's like 31. Hey, not 28, 29. But I mean, he has sufficient, well detailed medical evidence on that, so he could definitely get a rating for his shoulder, for arthritis and everything. If there's any limitations of flexion, so pretty much his ability to raise his arm, go left and right, side to side, or whatever the case may be, there's a specific percentage associated with the range of motion he can actually execute. Take a sip. So there's a couple things he can definitely get at what anywhere from 20 to 40% for those, maybe 50, depending on what all he claims and what diagnosis he has. And then going back to the back, or going to the back spine area, he was complaining about low back pain. He went in, he got seen, he got some x-rays and MRIs, and they showed degenerative disc disease. So that's definitely a percentage warranted. I'm not sure the severity of it. I mean, 10, 20, 30 might be good for him. As well as that could be a direct, as well as could be a secondary to lumbosacral strain. So if that degenerative disc disease is causing low back pain, he could definitely put in a claim for low back pain as well. Low back pain claims. Average VA gives is 10%. I mean, unless you have like severe mobility issues, you can't touch your toes from a standing position. You can't bend left and right. You can't turn side to side. All these range of motion, or the range of degrees in which you can turn, it gets associated with a percentage. Average percentages, well, the VA takes 0, 10, 20, 30, and 40% in consideration on the degrees. Past 40%, it just depends on the ankylosis or the seizing of the back of the spine. How many times is your back locking up and stuff like that? If you just can't bend over, you need help for everything. Definitely put in that claim, build that medical evidence. As well as he was having hand issues as well. He went in, he was checked by multiple specialists, multiple doctors in the military. Definitely, it sounded like carpal tunnel. But he was diagnosed eventually with carpal tunnel, but he had damaged nerves in his hands. Not sure from what, but he tried everything: physical therapy, medication, Botox shots, which he said they seem to work. But after he's using his hands, after a couple of hours, they start to seize up and shit. So definitely, hopefully, he takes care of that shit. I think he's at least a baseline right now. He's good. But he has good, sufficient medical evidence. So whenever he does submit that first claim for VA disability, he has all his diagnosis. He has sufficient medical evidence and history. Hey, and that's our coming in by all means. If you got any VA disability questions, recently denied claims, active duty military, transitioning out, let your boy know. But yeah, so you got all that. He was definitely once he put in that claim, he should be, anywhere between 70 and 80%, depending on how the VA rates and how he does in the compensation and pension exams. So, going from there, active duty. If I could do it all over again, I definitely would have gotten into medical a lot more than what I did. I did go in multiple times for migraines, hearing issues. Hearing issues was a thing after my second deployment. So it was well documented, as well as IBS for ingesting jet fuel on motherfucking naval ship. Going from there, had a motorcycle accident that fucked up my back, foot, as well as my hamstring and stuff like that. And then when I went to my new command in Europe, they were like, hey, we don't give a fuck about your motorcycle accident. Come on, fucking low water left. So, not being able to heal caused additional issues with my low back, hips, motherfucking thigh, feet, of course, knees and shit. So, it's just permanent damage that I couldn't get away from. At the time I was a fucking, young, yeah, I guess I was a young sergeant. I motivate kill. Young sergeant going over there. I was hungry, so like most military motherfuckers, we get in, we get to a specific rank. Depending on your branch, you may get more stigma from going to medical than any other branch. I know the Marine Corps definitely stigmatizes Marines for going to medical. Pardon me. God damn it. Sneezing like a motherfucking peasant. But if you got supportive leadership, they should definitely, hey, if anything's hurting, go to medical. Don't just be on this fucking, I'm hurt tangent and shit. Always fucking, you're gonna be bitter. And then once you get out the military, or once you plan on getting out the military, you're gonna be like, oh, I definitely should have went into medical a lot more. Start putting in my, my VA claims package together in order to, reap more of the benefits of being a veteran with disabilities, injuries that occurred while I was in the military. I would have put me in a better position. Wouldn't have taken as long as it did. Well, yeah, I'm sure I wouldn't have taken as long as it did for me to get 100%. But, we live and we learn. If y'all got any questions, by all means, let your boy know. Let me answer any questions for the next 20 minutes now. Me. But if I get no questions, I'm just going to keep talking about it. But yeah, so active duty, definitely you want to take advantage of that program whenever you plan on getting out. I say start planning, not planning to get out, but plan to start building your medical evidence and getting your VA claim prepared a year, at least 2 years out. So, you got a whole year to start building medical evidence. Get a diagnosis, medication, treatment, anything mental health. Definitely get it while you're in. It's going to save you a whole lot of time and stress trying to get a mental health condition or sleep apnea service connected after the fact. If you have sleep apnea, any respiratory issues, any mental health, any of these high value claims that yield 30% or more, definitely you want to make sure you have sufficient medical evidence. For my vets, it's a little harder. I mean, not really. I mean, for mental health, it's pretty easy. You can secondary mental health disability to almost anything. However, if you're trying to claim PTSD, that's a different beast. You're definitely going to need a diagnosis and a stressor. Some VA raters say you don't need that, duty to assist. But, clearly, with all the veterans on, my page, there's many veterans, many of y'all who say, hey, I was recently denied for PTSD due to those two reasons. Lack of a diagnosis, lack of stressor identified. And you got these VA raters, so I don't know where they're at. I wish I knew. I'll tell y'all to go move to their state, their city and state, so y'all get y'all PTSD claims adjudicated properly. But, supposedly, there's a section in the CFR 38, I'm still looking for it, that can be left to interpretation when dealing with veterans with any mental health disabilities, mainly pertaining to PTSD. They were saying that, yes, if the veteran exhibits signs and symptoms of PTSD, they'll, assign a diagnosis with PTSD, and then I try to identify the trigger. But, I mean, how many times do you need to go to and from a C&P examiner in order to do that? A C&P examiner is not that veteran's treating physician. Or, not. I mean, you can see a doctor for 2 months. That doctor's going to have more knowledge than that C&P examiner. That C&P examiner is just there to fill out the DBQ, IMO if needed for first-time claims, direct or secondary, and, provide a recommendation, service-connected or not, secondary or not. So, I mean, I recommend all veterans, if you're claiming anything PTSD, combat or non-combat related, do yourself a favor, make sure you have a diagnosis, not just treatment. A lot of vets put in their claim thinking they have an actual diagnosis of PTSD, but they may be diagnosed with something else or nothing completely at all. And when the VA sees this, if the vet doesn't have any diagnosis, they may attribute your mental health issue towards something else, anxiety or depression. So definitely go in, see a psychiatrist, get diagnosed, get evaluated, get on some good terms with this doctor. And whenever you decide to put in for an increase, no, not even, prior to that, tell the doctor, like, hey, if it's a private doctor, even better. Like, hey, I'm trying to build some medical evidence for my VA disability in order to get the benefits, I believe I deserve. Get in with them, like, I'm going to be utilizing you. Please document all my symptoms associated with PTSD, anxiety, depression, whatever the case may be. Definitely going to need an actual diagnosis. And as you're talking with them on a frequent basis, routine basis, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, whatever the case may be. If it's yearly, I mean, I don't know, definitely. Probably 0-10%. But you definitely want to take care of that in a organized manner. Just because you don't want to, put in your intensive file January. You're going to use some medical evidence from like 3-4 years ago. I'm like, fuck, let me try this shit out. Whatever the hell. I got a diagnosis from fucking boot camp, being fucking crazy and shit. But you haven't been seeking continuous treatment. So the VA, they're going to look at that and okay, what the fuck is this? Yeah, they were diagnosed with something 10 years ago, but they don't have 10 years worth of visits, at least yearly, So, I mean, even if you're trying to get service connected, you need history. You need evidence. Sufficient medical evidence. That's going to alleviate some stress from you when you're putting in these VA disability claims. Going from there, we got sleep apnea. A lot of vets try to claim sleep apnea just because they figure out that, hey, oh shit, that's just 50% off the rep. Let me go get let me go do a sleep study. See how it comes back. Comes back positive. Yeah, I got motherfucking sleep apnea. They gave me a CPAP. But what they fail to realize, you just can't get service connection for it. Especially if you've been out more than 10 years, 5 years. If you've been out more than a year, it drastically decreases your chances to get sleep apnea direct service connected. So that's why you definitely want to make sure whenever you're doing sleep apnea claims, you do it the right way. If you're going to file direct, look in your STR. Look at it, a few times. Give it to a buddy, a trusted buddy, a VSO, VSR, fucking your doctor, medical professional, their records department. Have someone look into your medical record. No, I mean, not someone, but, look through your medical record and see if you have any complaints of sleep disturbances. You're going to need that in order to file direct. In order to file secondary, you need to show how is your already service-connected disability causing you to have sleep apnea. Common one is PTSD, anxiety, depression, causing sleep apnea through the use of the medication. Medication causes you to stress eat or gain excessive weight, which in turn the excessive weight attributes towards sleep apnea, as well as smoking, being exposed to fumes, shit like that. Oh, PTSD is a common one. Another common one is secondarying it to respiratory issues, asthma. I've noticed some veterans saying that yes, they get service connected for one or the other. Like if they're service connected for asthma, they secondary sleep apnea to it. I know 3 veterans said the VA gave them an increase to. They mixed both of those and they gave them an increase. So instead of getting like 50% or 30% for asthma, they got a 60% for both of them combined. As well as 2 veterans, they got 100% for sleep apnea mixed with asthma. So I mean, definitely, if the medical evidence supports, that's a possibility too. You ain't gotta waste your time putting on all these baby claims. A lot of it, military and vets. The thing, throw a lot of tens at the wall. This shit about to stick, put you at 100%. But the more tens you have, it hurts you more. It hurts you in the long run because you have all these tens, and they only equate to a point, 2 points, 1 point, 2 points. It fluctuates. The closer you get towards 100%, it fluctuates. And that's that VA math for you. But definitely, you want to take care of both of those, especially being, we didn't know about those when we were in, and obviously most vets trying to get those now because it's 50% for sleep apnea and 0 to 100 for anything mental health. Of course, as long as your medical evidence supports. But once y'all achieve, because y'all go get there. I believe in y'all. Once you get to 100% permanent total, or just 100%, it depends on your disabilities, how that VA rater classifies your individual disabilities. If they're gonna be static, that puts you closer to 100% permanent total. If they're not static, then you have future routine exams, meaning from the medical evidence that you supplied and that C&P examiner, they deduce that, okay, it could get better. You know what I mean? Especially if you're like in the younger portion. Well, if you're young aged, the VA, they look at you and okay, he might heal. He or she might heal. So that's what they give. They're fucking like, But aside from that, once you get to 100%, it's a lot of good benefits: education, housing, vehicle, state benefits. I'll go over a few of them right now. Oh shit! Oh, shalom. What is up, Dawid? What's up? What's Gucci, man? Happy Wednesday. You got any questions? Let your boy know. I'm just talking. But yeah, so some benefits at 100%. It's the same benefits if you're 100%. Well, not really. I mean, it depends on your state. You definitely gotta, check around, bounce around and shit. Good, bro. Yes, sir. Yeah, same here. Got my coffee and chat, baby. Cheers. Probably hop off here in like 5-10 minutes. But But yeah, some benefits at 100%, at least here in California. Property tax exemptions. From 0 to 100, there's different levels. Or 0 or 100. Two different levels. You get the disabled veteran plates with vehicle registration exemption. Oh, shit. That we got a question. Let's check it out. I mean, initial stage of filing a claim with the VA after 30 years for PTSD. Sheesh. Okay. Okay, at least with that. Do you have a diagnosis of PTSD? And how long have you been receiving treatment for PTSD? Any advice I'm working with VFW agent. I mean, VFW is like hit or miss. Definitely ask that VSO if they have access to VBMS. It's the Veterans Benefits Management System. If they tell you no, I suggest getting with a different representative that does have access. Diagnosed last October 22. Okay. Was it the first year you were being seen, or at least with that receiving treatment now? Okay. That's probably the first time you got seen. So with that diagnosis, and from your session since October, what type of has that doctor attributed your PTSD to your military time? And have you identified your stressor? So the two main things the VA looks for. I don't know if that yes is for the second question or the first question. Dawid. All right, let's just do it again. So for at least no nexus yet. Okay. So they're still going. You're still being evaluated and everything. Okay. I mean, if that doctor, hopefully that doctor is that doctor through the VA or private. If it's private, it's a little bit better than just the VA medical. VA medicals sometimes ask, but definitely, I mean, you need a diagnosis. You need a stressor identified for PTSD claims, and I mean, you don't need a nexus if your PTSD is combat related. DX by the VA. Okay. Oh, that's first. There you go. So, are you a combat veteran? Because if you're a combat veteran, you're not going to need that doctor to, link your PTSD to that time. But you would definitely need to develop a personal statement to capture that. To identify, print your combat history out. They got your D214. If you got any awards from any overseas deployments, yes, in combat. Okay, yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah. So that your combat history time periods, multiple time periods, or a single time period will be attributed as your nexus. The VA, whenever you put in a claim for combat related or PACT Act presumptive conditions, you put it in combat related PTSD. But okay, they're gonna ping back to the deployed to Desert Storm twice. Oh shit, motherfucker, war hero. There you go, Dawid. There you go, war hero. Me. Yeah, definitely. So you got the diagnosis. You're good. Have you identified your stressor? Even if not in my records. What do you mean? The two deployments are not in your records, or what do you mean? Yes, nightmares. Dry source. No. So, nightmares is a symptom of mental health. PTSD. A stressor is a significant event that occurred in your military time. So, you witness, mass, casualties, your base was bombed, stuff like that. That's a stressor. That's a significant event that initiated the PTSD. No visits to the doctor in the military. You don't need any visits. You don't need any visits in for PTSD. Your combat history is there. It's only your DD-214. So if you have any awards, you can pull that just so it can alleviate the VA. I don't know why they got to verify, but sometimes they'll go and verify when it's Patriots, missiles going off and coming. Okay, yeah. So I would definitely. So that's pretty much your stressor, but you need to identify, like, keep working with your therapist to redefine that stressor. It's a VA, it's a VA psychiatrist. So whenever you put in that claim, the VBA, they have access to those records. I mean, whenever you put in a claim, they have access to the records. And depending on what that VA doctor is writing, they're gonna, more than likely take that person's, word. Okay, VA doctor diagnosis, stress identified, yes or no. Okay. Let's have awards, Southwest Service Awards. Okay, there you go. Yeah, definitely. If you have, I mean, I'm not sure how frequent you've been going to see this therapist, but definitely you want to, ask them, like, have you identified my stressor? And if you've been seeing them since October, this should be identified by now. And then just keep building that medical evidence. So then, you could probably start your intent to file now, or if you haven't, I say start it now. Submit by fucking July, August. Gotcha, bro. Appreciate all you do for the culture. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Dowie. Yes, sir. Yeah. I mean, you're set. I mean, you got the diagnosis. You got your combat history. That serves as your nexus. I would definitely print out an award or two. I mean, just one will do. Attach that to the front. You got a diagnosis. You just got to verify if your stressor has been identified. If not, you can definitely write a personal statement explaining what actually occurred when you witnessed that Patriot missile going off. What was the effects? What did it do? What was the aftermath? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't need to be 40 pages, but it can be like, a nice, good word page, 12 font, no spacings, a PTSD claim, put all your symptoms on top. Anything you're, like, look at the DBQ, look at your medical evidence, and see what symptoms you're experiencing. From there, that's when you want to start talking about, hey, my name is Dawit, and this is my battle that I've been going through with PTSD. You start, when, and then you'll start when it initially occurred, and that's pretty much you talking about your stressor. What was the event, the single event or multiple events that led to your PTSD? And then from there, definitely print out all your medical evidence or your history that you've been seeing. And it's also good to write a personal statement according to the VA. Yeah. Oh yeah, always. That's what I was just saying. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully the audio ain't too motherfucking skunky. But with all my claims, I submitted, except for hearing and tinnitus, of course, I submitted a personal statement. I do got videos on my page on, at least mental health personal statements. What I did to capture, like, pretty much is everything the VA rater or C&P examiner needs. You talk about, well, first, title, what it is you're trying to get service connected for or increased. Then all of my symptoms that I have documented in my medical evidence and anything associated with the DBQ that they're going to be looking at. And then I started talking about if it's a direct claim, I talk about when did it first occur in service. If it's an increase, how has that disability gotten worse since my last C&P exam? And if it's a secondary, when did I notice, or when was I started, when was I seen for or begin treatment for pardon me, this secondary claim that's being caused by my already service-connected disability. Yeah, definitely. Personal statements go a long way. Like I always tell veterans, write a personal statement because it captures, it's like a all in one. It captures your story. Like, definitely make sure it's good. The first time I put in my claim was back in 2017. I put some dumb shit on the personal statement, like, give me benefits, and they were like, fuck you, you stupid. They actually put my personal statement was incompetent. And, from there, like, just seeing that, I was like, fuck the VA, I'm out. But, after shit talk from other vets, one of my good buddies, like best friend and shit, definitely I've got, I'll watch your video. Oh, yeah. It should be in the mental health playlist. Yeah, the mental health playlist. Yeah, check that one out. But definitely, with like, yes, ever since I figured out how the VA likes to see your personal statement, that's all I've been doing. I use the same format for all my claims from beginning of 2021 up until fucking I got 100%. Title, symptoms, and then start talking about the meat and potatoes. Direct, when did it happen? Give me benefits. Exactly, dog. Give me benefits, dog. Give me money. I was like, and they were like, "Fuck you, dog. You getting 10%. Fuck out my office." So, yeah, definitely you wanna. Each claim is, it's just like playing chess. You don't want to just fucking like, take all these fucking pawns and now your queen is exposed. Then the VA, they go fucking creeping in with their two bishops, which is the fucking examiner and the claims agent, the VA raider. They go fucking, haha, yeah, fucking checkmate. So definitely, especially with PTSD, anything mental health or anything over 30%, you definitely want to go in there with more than enough evidence than just like little fucking pond pebbles, if that makes sense. Ah! Any other questions before I jump off? Any other questions? It's definitely strategic. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is. Everett, what's up, Everett? Back again. The VA plays with crooks. Yep, the VA crooks. They fuck, especially those VA Raiders, man. Especially those VA Raiders. Oh, motherfuckers be playing games with your boy. Playing on my soul. Gary, thank you for all your service. Oh, appreciate you, Gary. Appreciate you, Gary. Yes, sir. Appreciate you for your service as well. Oh, all these vets. Any questions before I jump out of here? Ah! Question. You ain't got no questions for me. I ain't got no questions for you. This motherfucking D-Bo out. What's good? What's a good time frame for PTSD? What do you mean? What do you mean, Everett? Like PTSD claims or medical evidence building? At least with claims, there's no medical evidence. So I mean, I would say as long as it will take for you to get a diagnosis, your stressor identified, and your symptoms, some symptoms noted in your medical profile with that psychiatrist. Hopefully, you can download it off or at least request a copy, as well as make sure you're talking to them and they're capturing and they're writing down your personal and your professional impacts. How has PTSD or any mental health, how has it caused issues in your personal life? Have you lost relationships? Kids don't talk to you. Divorce, family don't talk to you. When it comes to work, have you been stagnant in a position? Has your mental health been preventing you from getting promoted, from taking on more responsibilities? Has it gotten you fired? Has it gotten you fired multiple times over the last couple of like the VA looks at the last year mainly when adjudicating the claims. But I mean, if you've lost, been in and out of work for the last 2 or 3 years, I mean that's still good as well. And shit like that. So it's up until you have those things. Diagnosis, stressor, you're going to need that. From there, your symptoms and impacts to your work and your personal life. Hopefully that psychiatrist is writing this shit down. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, hopefully they're writing this shit down. And if they're not, definitely tell them, like, hey, I would like to see this in my medical documentation for my records. Like, I come in here, at least write my symptoms and my impacts down. Some psychiatrists, they're real detailed. They write every fucking thing. I know some, they record the sessions so they can come back and they, type in anything that they missed from their writings. But, I mean, there are some psychiatrists, I mean, I was definitely with VA, they fucking be half stepping. So definitely you want to keep on that. Once you obtain those things, mainly the stressor and the diagnosis, that's when I would say it'll be time for you to submit a claim. But if if that doctor is working with you, they're writing everything down, your symptoms, impacts to personal and work life, then definitely maybe like 6 months worth of documentation. But then it depends on how often are you going in to see that doctor. Some people, they can only get in once a month. So a 6 month time frame is good for that. But if you're going in once a week, maybe 3 months worth of evidence, by then you should have all of that plus a little more ready for a VA claim. Oh, anything else? Anything else? Twice a month for me. There you go. There you go. You got your diagnosis and stressor identified? I appreciate it. Oh, no problem, Everett. Yes, sir. Got you, dog. Got you. You got a diagnosis and your stressor identified? I do to both. Okay. Also, has that doctor been writing down your symptoms and your impacts to work or personal life? Because the symptoms, personal, and work, the diagnosis and the stressor will get you service connected, at least 0 to 10%. To get 30% and higher, you need to have issues going on with your total life. Personal, at home and at work. That's what the VA is looking for. Is this so debilitating that it's taking you, it's taking you away from people, responsibilities, progression in life, through a relationship or from work. So that's what the VA likes to see. They want to see a motherfucker struggle. Long story short. But yeah, anything else? Anything else? Me. Oh. If it ain't nothing else for me. Okay, there you go. She's pretty good. My personal life is trash enough to make her giggle. Come on, dog. It ain't that motherfucking trash. Come on, dog. God damn. Hey, fuck it, dog. Making her giggle. You know what that means? Me. Hey. That's good though. That's good. Hey, I'm glad you're going. You're seeking treatment. You're making her giggle. Hopefully you're giggling too. Fucking yeah. We go through our issues, especially with mental health and shit. But at the end of the day, we're all human. So definitely, you want to start building bonds where you can. Regardless if it's a psychiatrist. If she's giggling, she has genuine concern for you. So that's really good. That's really good. Definitely. But this motherfucker Debo out. Nice talking with y'all. Building bridges. Yes, sir. Gotta build that bridge. Don't burn them, dog. Don't burn them. Motherfucking Everett, DeWitt. Hey, Daweed. There you go, Daweed. And who is that third person in there? Daweed. Gary. It might be Gary. But hey, y'all take care. Motherfucking happy Wednesday. Start building that medical evidence. Keep building it. Put in that claim. Definitely work on your personal statements. If you ain't got nothing else to do, work on that personal statement. Grab a buddy. Like, hey, write this shit down, dog. But until next time.